Okay. Good morning. Now, am I audible? Loud and clear? Prasad? Prasad, am I audible? Yes. Thank you so much, Prasad. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming. And you had the option of doing something else today, but you decided to be here. So, what are we going to do for the next about 90 minutes or so? There's a surprise element at the end of the session, and I request you to stay back because this surprise element can bring in a huge transformation in your business. The theme for the topic for the webinar today is how do you build a profitable business post-COVID? Some ground rules, please keep a paper and pen, a lot of actionable points. Please feel free to use the chat room. And at the end of the webinar at 90 minutes, we can open up for a conversation if you have any queries that you want to address. And I promise I'll be here till all your questions have been addressed. And I'm not going anywhere. So while we have said till about 1 o'clock, but we will be here till it's done. It's done and dusted. So quickly, some basic introductions. Who are we? So first, let me tell you about Action. So Action is world's #1 business coaching firm, set up by Brad Sugars, an entrepreneur and author, way back in 1994, I guess. And today we are in 76 countries. We believe that the only way we can have abundance in this world is through business re-education. Ladies and gentlemen, you are extremely powerful and successful business owners. We as business coaches, we are not trying to tell you how to run your business and what needs to be done in your business. The only thing I'm asking you, ladies and gentlemen, that what are your goals in 5 years? And if there is a methodology for achieving those goals in the next 2.5 years, would you be interested? Today, the world is facing challenges with abundance, whether it's abundance of wealth, abundance of happiness, abundance of satisfaction. And our vision is how do you create that world abundance? So we coach about 15,000 businesses every week in USA, UK, Australia, and in multiple other countries. In India, we have been operating for the past about 11 odd years, and we have transformed hundreds of businesses. So that's about Action. Who am I? You should know why you're spending your valuable 90 minutes with me. So I'm a professional, started my career way back in 1991, worked with multiple organizations, GE Healthcare, Merck, Millipore. I went to Nigeria for about 9 years, happened to launch VWR, world's first e-commerce company for not e-commerce, but commerce company through the catalog selling model. And I had the privilege of launching them in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. About 5 years back, I decided it's time to be on my own, set up Beyond Red Ocean Consulting in the coaching and training space, where we later tied up with Action Coach for the business coaching piece. I have 3 other companies where I'm part of, which is Quinton, which is in the infection control space, HDMS, which is in the executive search space, and as a Bengali would be, we have our own cloud kitchen. So there are 4 companies that today I'm part of. Beyond Red Ocean Consulting is something that is very close to my heart. And I also teach I've been teaching for the last 20 odd years. So whether it's NMIS, SP Global, ISME, BML Bunjal, been teaching for the last 20 odd years, and it's typically marketing and strategy. Why do we think it's actually a great time to be in business? And let's get some insights into the business. And I'm going to have a poll, ladies and gentlemen, and the poll will be launched shortly. And the question is, how many of us today can go for a holiday for 3 months and come back and find a rock star business? A holiday without phones, without laptops, no emails, no official WhatsApp. And I'm launching the poll, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get some quick answers. It will be a 5-second poll, and here it goes. You have 3 options: yes, no, maybe. So quickly, if you can punch in your answers. And I've got 2, I've got 4, I've got 6. I've got 6 responses. I've got 7, I've got 8, I've got 9, I've got 10. And I'm closing the poll in 5 seconds from now. Fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. Let's end the poll, and I am going to share the results with you. And if you see the result, 64% of us cannot go on a holiday even for 3 months. 2 people, about 18%, says maybe, and about 2 says yes. Fantastic. Congratulations to the 2 who can say they can go on a holiday for 3 months and come back and find a rockstar business. But ladies and gentlemen, if only 2 people can go in a room on a response of 11, why are we in business? Why are we in business, ladies and gentlemen? Would it not be better off that we are in an employment where we have visibility of income, we have visibility of family life, we have visibility of holidays, we have visibility of vacation, and certainly a stress-free life, lesser stress life, not a stress-free, but a lesser stressed life. Why are we in business, ladies and gentlemen? If about 86% of the people in the room say that we can't go on a holiday for even 3 months and come back and find a rocking business. Are we creating, ladies and gentlemen, a business end of the day? Or are we changing the word BUSINESS to BUSYNESS? And a lot of people that we have spoken to over the last 4 months, I see so much of despondency in the air. We don't know where we are going. We don't know where the money is coming from. We don't know this, we don't know that. And a great deal is true. But the quicker we realize that that old world is not going to come back, and the quicker we plan for the new world, the new India 2.0 or the world 2.0, the quicker we set our plans in place, I think a lot of us will have a greater visibility towards the future. And these are the 4 reasons or 5 reasons why we believe as Action that it's a great time to be in business. And the first of those reasons, ladies and gentlemen, is the market dynamics is changing at a rapid pace, like never before. There are opportunities that are coming up, and I'll give you examples, and we'll throw in examples. A client of mine who is in the furniture business pivoted and saw a market opportunity in hospital beds. So 2 things happened. 1, she could convert her business from a non-essential to essential. So the manufacturing setup was not shut down. Second, while they did not make a huge amount of money, their cash flows were not hit because there was a shortage of hospital beds. And when the shortage came in, they could at least cater to some of them. And third, which is a possibility that is coming up, and we are in the process of discussing with them, is that has a market segment opened up which was earlier not in their horizon. So if we move fast, there is a great deal of advantage that we can take from these opportunities that are presenting to ourselves by pivoting. And as business owners, one thing that has been taught to us is that we need to be nimble on our foot. We are human beings, ladies and gentlemen. We are not somebody who has had roots grown. We are not a tree. If something is not working, there's a great possibility that you can have something else. The second reason, the world is virtual. This is the lowest cost structure ever to run a business. You don't need your office, you don't need your showroom. You don't need your showroom, you don't need, or a restaurant if you're in hospitality business. Most of the work that we do are on Zoom. Our costs have come down, and very soon there will be no geographic limitations. So the cost structures have come down. So if today you look at your cash flow and compare that cash flow with the cash flow that you had in December or January, you will see your cost structures coming down. Your margins can increase even if the sales don't increase. Even with a drop of sales, your margins today can increase. Yesterday, I was with a company where we were doing the sales budgets for this year. And we realized that because the cost structures have come down, even when there is a 10% drop in sales, the margins are better than, the forecasted margins are going to be better than last year. Are we leveraging on this virtual world? Are we leveraging ourselves on the lowest cost structure? Who would have ever thought that we would be doing this webinar? I am a very, very seminar person. I'm a very seminar person. Till about March, we were doing seminars. My cost structures were higher, but today my cost structures have come down. What you need, you just need a laptop and you need a good connectivity. That's all. The third reason, ladies and gentlemen, is marketing is much easier. Unfortunately, when I speak to a lot of SME and MSME business owners and ask them, do you sell? And I get a very surprising answer. And that answer is that we don't sell. Customers buy from us. There was a marketing budget that you had. It was your outgoing salespeople. It was your networking events. It was your newspaper advertisements. It was your events. It was exhibitions. And those were huge white elephant. And the MROI, and we'll talk about MROI, the marketing ROIs could be very, very significantly under pressure. But today you don't need a marketing budget. You have a website, you have YouTube, you have Facebook, you have LinkedIn. It's all that you need to use. And many of them are free. Even if you want to get into paid, they're significantly lowered in price. And the best thing is you can toggle between them. You can do your test and measure. You can do your test and measure on a regular basis. You can do your test and measure every week and decide where should you shift your focus. Yeah, no one is ever saying that do your marketing plan from a very short-term perspective, but you can toggle by testing and measuring them regularly. But look at our organization and our psyche. The first thing we cut down is marketing. And that is the challenge. And I tell all my business owners, look at other areas of cutting down your business, but not your marketing. You need to be visible. You need to be there when your customer is looking for you. Sometimes you may get the feeling, ladies and gentlemen, that you're overdoing it. Some people in life will come back and tell you, you're overdoing it. So be it. I'm not here to please everybody. I don't know when my customer is going to look out for me. And I need to be there every single day. I have a marketing which works like clockwork. Every single day, something or the other is happening. A lot of you would have got calls from my team. And we bring in all those to help build the brand. And you need to build the brand. Are you in the last 4 months building your brand? Or are you waiting for things to change and say, then I will start? Ladies and gentlemen, you would have lost another valuable 3-4 months because you're waiting for things to happen. Please make things happen. Fourth, your competitors may not be as smart as you. This is a time to differentiate with your competitors. Many of them don't know. Some are closing down, some are struggling, some Some are, they don't know when they would open. Many of them losing money, many of them losing customers. You're probably getting into a slightly more uncompetitive marketplace. Less competitive marketplace, if I can use the phrase. And we need to be smart. Like again, this same business that we were talking about, the furniture business. Right? I asked them to go and register with the BNI. The members, they're investing money in their marketing. Today, through BNI, they have got 5 other connects. Businesses will take time, but they're building the brand. The visibility is increasing. Are we doing it? We need to be smart at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not let go of this opportunity. And the 5th reason is the great employees that are available at a discount. And when I'm doing my hiring for my other organizations, you see people coming from great organizations who have lost their job for no fault of theirs, because organizations have downsized. And they're available at remunerations that are way below the January levels. The great people and hungry for great work, they're there to prove to the world that they're fantastic. At some point in time, they're there to prove to themselves. They're people who need not be sacked. Now is the time to hire great people. If you can't hire them full-time, hire them on a consultant mode, hire them on part-time basis, give them a comfort that in 2 months' time, they will be full-time employees. But get good people. 5 big reasons, ladies and gentlemen, why we believe that at this point in time, it's a great reason to be in business. Provided our mind is like that umbrella, which is open. I hear statements like, trains are shut down. How will my employees come? My manufacturing will not work. So be it. But there are 100 other things that you can do. You can be ready to sprint when the market opens. We don't know when the government will tell us that the local trains are on in Mumbai. So are we going to wait for that day, for that announcement, and then start our planning, and then take 3 months to implement it? Or are we ready with a plan today? The idea, ladies and gentlemen, you're all in business, is to leave a legacy. I am afraid, I am scared that a lot of businesses that I see around today who are not mentally there, they may not see FY22. The legacy will be over. 20, 30, 40-year-old businesses, they will be over. They'll be done and dusted. As a business owner, our job is not to live forever, but to create something that will. Look at the world for the past 20 years. You had the dot-com bust. You had the terror attack in the US. You had the subprime crisis. In India, we had the demonetization, GST, and now the pandemic. Every 3-4 years, we have seen one crisis or the other. So if somebody tells me that there will be no crisis in the next 4-5 years, I think we are living in a dream world. We're dreaming. In the midst of all these crises, we have to create a business that stays much after we are gone. And that is the fundamental subject for today, that how do you create that business? With the COVID over or coming to an end, businesses restarting, economies restarting, how are you going? How are you going to achieve that? And for that, I would want you to look at this entrepreneurial ladder and figure out where we are today. Our beginning of our life is at the student level, where we are paying fees to get qualified for a job. It's -1. We're investing money. With that qualification, we become an employee, which is at level 0. We start gaining knowledge, and one fine day, we believe that we have the capability to start our own entrepreneurship journey. That is where we become the self-employed. And self-employed is a difficult phase because we don't have resources. but it's putting that seed in and waiting for the flowers, doing everything else, the fertilizers, etc., everything. It all depends on what kind of tree you're putting. It's a seed of a bamboo tree or of a flowering plant. So at that time, we are in that seesaw mode. One day we are doing business development, on the other day we are going and catering to the businesses that we have developed. Then comes the time where we find that business is growing, that the flowers have started coming up, and we hire a team. We get in a team of people to support us. But tell me, ladies and gentlemen, there is a qualification that is required to become a doctor. There's a qualification and education that is required to become a chartered accountant. There is a CS course. There are other courses, professional courses. Which course teaches us to become an entrepreneur? No course in this world teaches us how to become an entrepreneur. And one day somebody made a very interesting comment that the entire education system globally is to create corporate professionals who can take orders from somebody else and not to have an entrepreneurial mindset. And hence, even in corporates, we don't get that entrepreneurship. We don't get that ownership. And because nobody has taught us to create a team, we hire the wrong people. And when we hire the wrong people and we have moved up to stage 2 as a manager, we quickly realize that the people who have hired are not solving problems for me, but are creating more problems. They're creating more fires. So now, instead of getting into the seesaw, I get into the running around the mulberry tree to put out the fires. Now, if I'm successful in putting out the fires and training my team, that I move one level higher when I'm the owner of the business. As the owner of the business, I have a team which is driving the business totally. I have the freedom. People, the 86% of the people who said that you can't go on a holiday, now you can. Now you can, ladies and gentlemen, you can. Because you give the strategic directions and the team runs. It is like that Chetak horse of Rana Pratap. When Rana Pratap was injured in that battle and unconscious, the horse knew where to take the master to. And the horse ran. But because we are ill-equipped to create that kind of ownership model, very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, we sack people because we can't manage them, and we slide back into self-employed. So most of our life is between self-employed and manager, self-employed and manager, self-employed and manager. We may go to the owner stage, but quickly we slide back to the manager because our team is not ready. But only when you have a successful team running the show can you become that investor where you can multiply your businesses. I have again heard a lot of statements which people come and told me, एक business नहीं चल रहा सर और एक second business करते हैं. अरे एक business आपका नहीं चल रहा तो आप second business कैसे करोगे? Because secrets of running the business are the same. You know how to do one business, you can replicate the knowledge elsewhere. But you don't. But you're trying to spread yourself too thin. Now look at ourselves and tell us, where are we today? I know I am in that manager stage. I'm moving into that owner stage very shortly in this business. In the other businesses, I'm in that owner stage. I'll move, and there it will be a longer duration. And I'm not saying all of them are equal. The owner stage could be longer. The manager stage could be longer. But our role, our job, is to at least in our lifetime move to level 3. If you're not moving to level 3, we will never get the freedom of the business. And so let's think about this. Is your business driving you, or are you driving your business? If people in your office are waiting for you to come in and open the door and start giving instructions, then the business is driving you. And if the business is driving you, you don't own a business, you own a job in a business. Today you have to decide, am I ready for that? Or today am I going to treat it like the first day of my rest of my life as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, and say, from today, I will create that roadmap where over time, and this is not a magic wand that you wave and everything falls in place, but I'll start that process where I will start not owning a job, but owning a business. It may take 12 months, it may take 18 months, but I will reach that stage of life. This is the conundrum I want you all to come out of. Globally, it has been seen that most business owners are not business owners, but are great technicians, if I can use that word, technicians. You're great in your job. And you, because you're great in your job, you can see and smell opportunity from a distance. And to see and to get that opportunity, you're working the hardest. You're juggling multiple balls of sales, marketing, finance, business development, banking, delivery, manufacturing, supply chain. How long can you do it? How many things can you do it? Because you're working the hardest. And there's no time for self and family when your employees are going on the 30-day holiday, because you have committed to them on their contractual agreement that you are entitled for 20 days, 30 days, whatever it is. And you have a 6-day working week, and you have your 6 CLs and your 6 SLs and 12 public holidays. So people are actually not there for 45 days in the business, but you are there. You're working the hardest. And under the Mumbai parlance or the Maharashtra parlance or the Bombay parlance, we talk in terms of stress gastritis, or health challenges come up, whether it's heart challenges or digestion challenges. And the best part is that we are not making any money because we are stuck between level 1 and level 2. We are stuck between self-employed and a manager. Is stuck. An entire life, if you're going to do that, there is no end to the journey. There's no end to the journey, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'll try and see what best can be done. Hitesh, thank you so much. There's no end to that journey. So ladies and gentlemen, today we will look at what is the secret for you coming out of this. Now is the time to reopen. Now is the time to reinvent the reopen. Now is the time to rethink the reopen. Not only post-COVID, but also looking at a business as a whole. Because opening will be much tougher than closing. One day the government announced in the month of March that from tomorrow businesses are shut down. We go to our offices, we take the papers, we take the laptops, we take the computers, we take the data, and we start working from home. Closing was tough, but today opening will be much tougher. And we have to rethink, reinvent, and reopen. What are those 5-6 things that you need to do when you need to restart? And many of the businesses have already restarted or on the process of restarting. So let's look at first the to-dos for rebuilding, for restarting. The first to-do is you need to rebuild your team. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the challenges that we are going to have is with people. While we want to start our businesses, there are a lot of people around us who are still uncomfortable coming to workplace because their families are putting pressure on them, COVID, yay, whoa, all those kind of stuff. First thing is you need to get your people in and give them the confidence. You have to demonstrate to them that you are concerned about their well-being. You have to show them that what are the protocols that you are doing for the disinfection, for the safety, for the security. That salesperson who's going to come in is not only going to come into the workplace, he's going to use public transport to come in. He's going to go and meet his customers. He's have to go and meet his customer. So he'll be out there for a significant amount of time. When we closed down, we started working from home, our productivity took a hit. Then we started settling. And when we started settling, productivity went up. But as you restart, please be prepared for productivity again coming down, because people are wary, people are scared, people are unsure, people don't know what is happening. And look at that day when you hired new people. How did you treat them? With kids' glove. You made them settle down, you gave them the space, you gave them the comfort. Please treat all your employees the same way. Because if you don't, their productivity will not go up. Because now is the time to rebuild that team. The second, you need to reopen the announcement. Go back to that day when you started your first business. Look at the announcements that you made. Whether it was on social media or going and talking to people that I've started a business, there was excitement in the air. Today, there is excitement, ladies and gentlemen. We have survived COVID. Yes, there has been a hit financially, but we have still survived. So it's a process of celebration as well. So let's build up that excitement. Let's announce that every step that we are going to take. Let's congratulate our competitors. Let's congratulate our suppliers. Let's go and tell the world. Let's tell the customers that we are there. We have survived. Announce every team member. Jack, I'm waiting to see you. Seema, I'm waiting to see you in your front office. The smile that you give me every day I come into the office. Suman, I'm waiting for you to jump with joy when the orders come in. We all celebrate the laughter, the smile, the parting that we have in our offices. We're waiting for that to happen. Build up that excitement, ladies and gentlemen. As a business owner, we play multiple roles, and one of the roles that we play is of a psychologist. We are there to take care of the mental health of our families and of our employees. Whatever it is, keep on announcing. Let the world know that we are in a celebratory mode. Let the world know that XYZ is restarting the business. Let the world know that XYZ is right up there with the products and services, with the teams and systems and processes to capture the world. Very important, ladies and gentlemen, of re-announcing. Now comes the tough. So while you have announced, while you have taken care of your team, the business that you had forecasted in the month of February, March for FY21 is no longer going to be the same. So you need to rerun your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. It's like going to Mount Everest without a GPS and getting lost. Because every decision that you're going to make today is going to have far-reaching implications. So either you're going to make a huge amount of money or you're going to lose a huge amount of money. So you have to look at each number, each decision making. Each decision that you make today is critical to your business. What is your break-even? What is your current break-even? What is your daily break-even? Because break-even numbers have changed. Your businesses your quantities that you're going to sell are no longer going to be the same. My suggestion is, ladies and gentlemen, look at daily break-evens. Look at reviewing your numbers on a weekly basis. Because things are still uncertain. A lot of things are still uncertain outside. And hence, it's important that we use the money that we have, whether you have taken moratoriums or whether you have taken working capital or whether you have taken, or whether the cash you have preserve them and use them wisely. Because we still don't know 100% whether 1st October will be what 5th September is. We're predicting it will be the same, it will be better. But till we get that out of that tunnel, today we see a light at the end of the tunnel, but let's get out of the tunnel. And when you're getting out of the tunnel, Before you get out of the tunnel, use the resources carefully and every single week rerun your numbers. The fourth thing that you need to do is rethink your marketing and sales. The world has changed, people's motivations have changed, the decision making has changed, our outbound marketing processes have changed. How are we going to pivot probably 180-degree and change our entire sales and marketing plan? How is your digital plan looking like? How is your, so I talk in terms of a cycle. You create visibility, from that visibility, you create influence, from that influence, you build trust, and from that trust, you get customers. How is your visibility in the marketplace? Are you creating enough buzz in the visibility? And like we said, it's not expensive. So what are we doing? Are you creating? Is your YouTube channel in place? Is your website in place? Are you doing enough webinars? Are you doing enough WhatsApp calls? Are you doing enough live shows? What are all the things that you're doing? Is your Facebook active? Is your LinkedIn active? What are all those things that you're doing? And the entire communication today should be not on buying, but on helping. The moment you try to help people, more and more people you will attract. Because please remember, there's fear and worry in the marketplace. And we need, as business owners, we need to address that fear and the worry. Our marketing cycles, our sales cycles can be longer, but so be it. Let's start. More videos have to come in because people look at eye to eye and communicate. Look at your databases. When was the last time your entire database was cleaned? Look at all your customers of the past. Are you communicating to them? When was the last you communicated to a customer who you lost in 2014 or 2018, or your competitors took him away, but he's still surviving? When was the last you communicated to him? Build the database and build the relationships. Unfortunately, as Indians, we are not great at building relationships. We're very transactional. But can we now change? Because my entire marketing process has to change. My entire marketing activities have to change. The more you try to sell, the more the customers will go away from you. The more you try to help, the more you will build relationships. I'm not saying become a charitable organization. No, yours is a commercial, profitable enterprise. Hence, you will need to invest in marketing. The fifth thing that you need to do is rewrite your plans. Rewrite your plans. Do you have a business plan? If you don't, prepare a business plan. We have and most of the business plans that I've seen are of one page. Itna sales karna, itna profit. That is not a business plan. A business plan for us is an 18 to 20 page document. We help business owners write business plan. So we are now probably in that thriving phase. We need to write a plan for our thriving. You have undergone the survival and revival phase. Now you need to write a plan for your thriving. And hence your business plan will have to be rewritten. Is the same products that you were selling in the past still, what's the right word? Still relevant? Or do you need to relook at your products? Are the markets still relevant? Can you get into new geographies? Were the distribution channels still relevant? Or you need to look at newer distribution models? Rewrite your plan, ladies and gentlemen. If you can't do it, take help. There are enough and more professionals. There are action coaches all over the country. Take help from them. But you need to have a document. How long can we go and do a business without a plan? It is like driving a car from, say, Bombay to Pune, for example, first time in my life, and the car not having a dashboard. And when the car doesn't have a dashboard, I do not know how many kilometers I've traveled, how much kilometers are yet to be traveled, what is the fuel, what is the temperature in the car. I don't have any clue. But unfortunately, most businesses are done in that fashion. Having looked at these 5 points, if you do those 5 points well, then you fulfill Action's definition of a successful business, which is to build a commercial, profitable enterprise that works without you. If you want to move into that owner stage, ladies and gentlemen, in the entrepreneurial ladder, you need to have a business that works without you, out of choice. Please, I'm not saying don't go to your work, but you should be going there out of choice, not out of necessity. Today, I want to do something else. I want to go and play golf. I should be mentally free to go and play golf. Not because नहीं मैं नहीं जाऊंगा तो business का कुछ नहीं होगा. Who's created that business? I was talking to a business owner about 4-5 months back, and he told me, Malloy, tell me something. I hired this guy. He was with me for 2 days, and he didn't turn up. I said, okay. Second guy I hired, he was there with me for a month. Then I sent him on a project, and then he didn't come back. The third guy I've hired, but I don't think he's a good at. He just sits there and does nothing. And I can't even sack him because I have nobody else. At least he's doing something. 10% contribution. Why do I attract such kind of talent? Why am I not able to hire good people? I don't think India has good people. That was his words. And I left him with one sentence, post which he was speechless, and we didn't talk about this, but I know he got the message. And I said, what is that common thread that is running between all these three individual salespeople? And the common thread, ladies and gentlemen, is that business owner himself. He has made himself indispensable in that business that nobody else will get the freedom. I want you to think through that. Do you have a business which can run without you? If not now, maybe in 18 months from now. If not now, how do you create that business that runs without you, where you are the strategic person, but the business is on autopilot? This is what we call the 6 steps to achieving that business which runs without you. And we look at each of those steps, not so much at length, but I can any point in time have a one-to-one on this and talk about it. So the 6th step is, first is mastery, which we call chaos to control. The second is on building a predictable cash flow, which we call niche. The third is on bringing in systems into the business, which is called leveraging. And for us, it's all talks about building efficiency, do more with less. And many organizations try to systemize the business first without having a predictable cash flow. Fourth is when you start moving into that process of without you, building a team. Fifth is when you build the team and now you can focus on other things, whether it's your personal goals, other professional goals, social goals, or multiplying goals of your business. And that is when you start getting passive income. So when we talk about chaos to control, the 4 areas of mastery that we talk about are destination, money, time, and delivery. Let's look at destination. Do we know where we want to go in 5 years? Do we know what size of business we want in 5 years? Do we know how many offices we want in 5 years? Do we know what kind of products we want in 5 years? Do we know how many people we will employ in 5 years? Do we have a vision? I always talk in terms of that life is led backwards and planned forwards. Unless I know where I want to go in a predetermined time frame, I'll never be able to reach there. If you have it, ladies and gentlemen, many businesses would have it. Heartiest congratulations, a big clap to all of you for anybody who has this. But for anybody who don't have it, don't you think your destination, your end goal is important to all of us? When we coach people, when we coach business owners, a large amount of the work that we do in the initial stage is to clear that cobwebs from the customer's mind, from the client's mind, and show him or her, where do you want to go? I am not there to replace you. I am hand holding you to take you there, but only once the cobwebs are cleared. You must define what you want to have in life, because only when you define what you want to have, will you take actions. I don't want business owners, and I don't want anybody in life to be on a treadmill running from morning to evening. But when you touch your head on the pillow, you to ask yourself, what have I achieved? How fast, how further have I gone in my life? And the answer in many cases is nowhere. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to dream big today. I really want you to dream big today, because this is the opportunity. Please take this as an exercise. Take a photograph of the slide and do this activity today, tomorrow being Sunday, fantastic day to do this exercise. That today, where are we? What kind of business am I running? What's the revenue that I'm doing? Where am I living? What am I driving? What investments do I have? What are my holiday plans? What is my family enjoying? And how much time am I spending in business? And if today I give you a magic wand, and by waving that wand, you get everything that you desire, what are those desires that you will have? Put it down in under 5 years, that this will be the revenue of my business. This is where I want to live. This is the kind of house that I envisage. Close your eyes and envisage that house. Close your eyes and envisage the car that you're driving. You can keep on adding. You may keep on adding. Like somebody other day told me, well, but these are all materialistic. I have a social goal. I want to build an orphanage. I said, fantastic. From where are you going to get the money to build that orphanage? He says, from the business. I said, please fill up this then. That unless your revenue from the business goes to a certain level, you'll not be able to generate that. You'll not be able to create that orphanage. So please focus on your business for the next 2 years. What investments do I want to make? What is it that I want to leave with? Please always think in terms of the legacy. All of us will die, ladies and gentlemen, one day. But that day, when I am transformed from molloy to a body, and I'm lying in the crematorium as a body, and the Almighty gives me a power for 5 minutes to hear what the other people around me are talking in terms of me, what is it that I want to hear? What is it that I want to hear, ladies and gentlemen? Because that's what I want you to focus upon. What are your family's dreams and aspirations that you want to fulfill? What are your children's dreams and aspirations you want to fulfill? What are your spouse's dreams and aspirations you want to fulfill? If not immediate family, extended family. And at that point in time, 5 years from now, how much time would you want to be working in this current business? You may be doing 500 other things, no problems. You may still be a workaholic and working 18 hours a day, no problem. How much time would you want to invest in this current business? That has to come down. And hence I want you to dream big, because this, without the destination, without the cobwebs going away from the mind, there's hardly any chance of us achieving our destination. The second is money. Now this money word is, for a lot of people, a very disliked word. Money ka baat mat karo, sir. Money is not good. And most business owners are actually not happy dealing with money. And that is a challenge, because if you're in business, if you don't know your numbers, what do you know? As a business coach, when we work with them, we need to bring them to the numbers game. When I am a business coach and when I coach people, the first thing I tell people, my business owners, is I am an investment. The fees that you're paying me is an investment, which should have an ROI. So suppose you're paying me X amount of money. What is the first year X that you're looking for? At least look at 2X. Because if I am not adding 2X into your bottom line, then why would you want to hire me? Your business was going on as planned. Unless you're looking at a 2x now and that x going up in the future years, don't hire me. Because I will not be happy. I'll not be satisfied because I'm a very numbers person. I want to see what is the contribution that I've done. I ask people, do you know what is your inventory cost? What are your true margins? What are your margins per product? लोग बोलते हैं सर 10-12% margin. 10-12% का margin होता है. 10-12 है कि 10 है कि 12 है कि 10.5 है कि 10.7 है कि 11.2 है. What is your margin? What is your true margin? And a lot of business owners actually don't know the concept of true margin. Because in the margin calculation, you have not put your costs. And if you have not put your costs, tomorrow you're going to replace yourself with the CEO and you're going to put his cost into it, your margins are going to go for a toss. So what are your margins per product? If you don't know your margins per product, if you don't know which is your higher profit, which are your profitable products and not so profitable products, how do you give strategic directions to your salespeople to sell? They may be selling more of the lower profitable products and you're not going to ever going to make money. So I want you to first look at ladies and gentlemen, that where do I focus my selling activities to? How do I create a strategic plan to sell products which are higher in margin? Third, what is your break-even costs? What are your break-evens? What are your total costs? Because if you have any costs which are either not contributing to growing your business or for customer satisfaction, that cost is something that you should really look at it with a magnifying glass. What are industry benchmark? Is my cost structure in sync with industry benchmark, below industry benchmark, higher than industry benchmark? Are we doing market research? If it's higher than industry benchmark, then obviously there's something wrong in my costing or in my economies of scale or in my vendor identification. Where am I losing money? Most business owners, ladies and gentlemen, are not behaving like business owners. They're acting like employees. If you don't look at your P&L and a balance sheet on a monthly basis, if you don't have a predictable cash flow, if you don't have a predictable sales forecasting, how are you even going to make plan for your investments? How are you going to even plan for what kind of organization structure I need to have? How are you going to plan for how many people you need to hire? Many businesses that I deal with and I've spoken to, they go by what is there in the bank passbook. इतना पैसा है पासबुक में, चलो ये वेंडर को दे दो, ये खर्चा दे दो. Is that how you run a business? Is that how you would run a family? So I'm asking you, ladies and gentlemen, to look at this very carefully, that cash is the reality. But do you have predictability in cash? I may be 100 crore business and I'm sitting at the airport, I'm telling the person next to me that I'm a 100 crore business owner. That is vanity. पैसा कितना है system में? Or am I managing my cash flows with working capitals or diluting my equity or selling my assets? Because the more you depend on working capital, the more your liabilities will go up. Your profits are going to take a hit. And if profits are taking a hit, your cash will take a hit. Now look at this. And I want you to do the second exercise, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, day after, whenever you're back in work. What are your account receivables? If you do a trend analysis of the last 4 or 5 years in business, has the accounts receivable gone up or gone down? And I can tell you with a great deal of certainty that 90% of businesses, your accounts receivable by days, not by amount, amounts have to go up, but by days have gone up. If in FY19 you were collecting in 45 days, why have you allowed it to go to 55 days in FY20? Sometimes we become lazy. Sometimes we take things for granted. Sometimes there's enough and more cash in the system initially. What is my inventory holding inventory holding costs? Now, if your sales have gone up and your account receivables have gone up, invariably your inventory holding costs would have gone up. What is a cash gap? And again, a lot of business owners don't understand cash gap. For us, cash gap is the day you have paid off your vendor for the raw materials that you have bought to make the final product and sold to the company, to your customer. And the day you get the money from the customer is your cash gap. And there's a dear friend of mine who is in Pune who tells me, Malay, our entire profits are either stuck in inventory or stuck in account receivable. Books में तो पैसा बहुत दिखता है, हाथ में कुछ भी नहीं. Because ladies and gentlemen, if your accounts receivables are going up, your inventory holding costs are going up, your cash gap is going up, and if your business is going, your administration costs will certainly go up. If all of these are going up and you are going to focus only on sales for increasing your profitability, please understand that you are going to put a higher degree of pressure on your cash flows and your business is going nowhere. Your business is going nowhere. If you want to have a sustainable business, instead of focusing only on sales, first focus on bringing around these. Have goals that this year I will bring down my account receivable by 5 days, 3 days. Have an actionable goal. I will reduce my inventory holding cost by 3 days. I will reduce my cash gap by 3 days, 5 days, whatever, but have a goal that is reducing. I will look at all my administration expenses and check where can I reduce, because like I said, every administration expense either has to be revenue generating or customer satisfying. Otherwise, there is no administration expenses. There's no space for the padding. And I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, do we have control? Sorry. Do we have these in place? If you don't have it, please focus on it. The third area of our mastery that we speak about is time. I want you to move into the red zone, which is the not urgent important zone. Invariably, we are stuck between the urgent and important. And there will always be this delusion stage of urgent and not important. If we want to work on the business, we have to move into the not urgent and important zone. Without that, we don't stand a chance. Now, when I ask business owners, do you have a time inventory? Do you have a default calendar? Does your team have time inventory? Does your team have a default calendar? Unfortunately, the answer that I get is no. Please understand that we cannot manage time. We can only manage ourselves within that time. So what is the time inventory? Please do an exercise from Monday. If you don't have a time inventory, some of you may have a time inventory. Fantastic, congratulations. But if you don't have a time inventory, please do your time inventory. If you wake up at 6 and you sleep at 11, in every bracket of 1 hour, where is your time going in a period of 7 days? And once that mapping is in front of you, you will see a huge revelation that where your time is going, and you can figure out for yourself that how much time is being wasted on urgent and not important things, and whereas you wanted to be there in the not urgent important zone. Because today, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't make that transition into focusing on the not urgent important zone, very quickly you will make that activity will move into the urgent important zone. Look at today. Attending this webinar, attending this masterclass is not urgent. But if you have decided to invest that your time in that 20%, I think you, all of you, all of us, all of you deserve a huge round of applause. Because if you had not done this, probably the needs of the business would have pushed it into the urgent important zone. And then it would have become demanding. मुझे ये भी करना है, नहीं तो मेरा business ठप हो जाएगा. The time mastery is something that we speak at length with people. When we coach business owners, we look at where their time is going. And finally, what is their consistency of delivery? And you can determine for yourself how many customer complaints you get, how many late deliveries are happening, how many product returns are happening. And that is one area that where you build today a differentiation. Because this delivery is important. Because the products, everyone is probably saying, doing the same kind of product, but are we standing by our commitments? By terms of quality, in terms of consistency, in terms of services, in terms of all the promises that I have made. That is the foundation for healthy growth. This, ladies and gentlemen, the first 4 pieces, which we call the chaos to control, is the difficult part. Because there a lot of heartburn comes in and it is not easy. You have run a business in a particular way for a certain amount of time. Now, when we get into the coaching practice, we say you cannot do it. You need to transform, because only once the foundation is clear, then you can build that 25-story building. You cannot build a 25-story building on a foundation which is weak. And this is where we build foundations. It takes time. There's no magic wand that you wave the wand and everything will be fine. It takes time, it takes persistence, it takes commitment, it takes dedication, it takes patience. But once you have done this, then life becomes more exciting and interesting. Because this is where we move into sales. Because you will remember in the first control, chaos to control, we have not even spoken about sales and marketing. We have just looked at the foundation. So we have looked at the commercial, the blue one, commercial. Now we are moving into the profitable. How do you move it into the profitable base? Now, most people and most business owners think of sales and marketing as an expense. For us, it's an investment. For every rupee out, more rupee should come in. And unless we change that mindset, and unless we look at businesses differently, this thing will not happen. You will still look at it as cost. And look at all your businesses today over the past 4 months, how much cost cutting have we done on our marketing? If you have not done, heartiest congratulations. If you have done, ladies and gentlemen, it's not the right thing to do. Because every point in time, we should be sales and we should be marketing ourselves. And if your competitors are doing it and you're not doing it, you're in trouble. If you are doing it and competitors are not doing it, you can now leverage on that. So I want you to ask yourself, what is your niche? What is your unique selling proposition? Think about a Domino's pizza. Or think about a pizza. You're hungry, your family is hungry, and you all want a pizza. Why does Domino's pizza come into your mind? We know it's not the best of pizzas. If it's not the best of pizzas, why do we place an order with Domino's? Because what they have done very successfully is created a unique selling proposition. So what is your unique selling proposition? And if you tell me you can't create a unique selling proposition because you're a mass market product, ladies and gentlemen, we are wrong. We need to create that unique selling proposition. We need to get into what we call TOMA, top of mind awareness. If my competitor wants such a product, amongst the clutter in the marketplace, why should my name come in top of his mind? So what is that unique selling proposition? So Domino's is 30-minute unique selling proposition. And if I don't match up to that unique selling proposition, what is the guarantee I give? They have given a free pizza guarantee. You will realize, and when we do the maths with you in your workplace, if we were to work together, when we were to work together, if my number of customers, number of leads can jump by 25% by creating a unique selling proposition. And even if I have to lose 10% by way of guarantees, you will realize you're making a higher amount of money. I'm not saying you will not, there may not be any outflow in the initial stages. There can be an outflow because you've given a guarantee and you have to stick. If you put up your neck, you have to stick by it. But when we do these mathematical exercises, because end of the day, marketing is simple maths. Somebody who tells you marketing is something like that white elephant or that big dragon or that dinosaur, I think you should smile at him. Marketing is all about maths. So when you talk about sales and marketing, I'm asking you, do you have these? Do you have these 10 things in life? Do you have a business plan written for the next 5 years? Do you have a marketing plan written for the next 3 years? If you have, fantastic. Have you re-looked at it? Have you re-looked at it for the short run? If you don't have these documents, please write it. Do you have a 12-month sales forecast, rolling 12-month sales forecast? That today, sitting in September, do you have some visibility of your sales coming in from August, in August of 2021? Do we have a customer classification? We go by the ABCD classification and we have typical names: awesome, basic, can't deal with, and dead. Sorry, it should read as D. Who are the awesome customers? Customers who don't negotiate with us. Customers who are great at giving us business. We may not be making huge amount of revenues from them, but we are making great profit, and they're long-term customers. So we look at something that we call the customer lifetime value. We look at acquisition costs. If 25,000, for example, 25,000 is my customer acquisition cost. What is the lifetime value? How much business can it give me over the next 5 years? Are we predicting that? Or are we finished after acquisition of a customer? We're chasing the next customer. So those are my awesome customers. B is those basic customers who are giving me the revenue. They may not be highly profitable, but they're giving me the mass. Certainly profitable, but not very highly profitable. They're giving me the mass. C are those can't deal with customers who are probably good at one point in time. Their businesses have come down, but they still show that sometimes they show that they're the bosses. मैं तुम्हारे पिताजी को जानता था, तुम्हारे उसको जानता था, इसको जानता था. They will throw their weight around. And many cases, our salespeople are chasing after the C customers. They can't deal with. हाँ sir कर देते हैं. चलो manufacturing production process change कर दिया क्योंकि इसको देना है. What are we doing? So when we work with customers, we identify C customers, can't deal with. And with one customer, we sent out a sweet letter that as per management decisions, our prices are going up by 10%. And we need advance, at least 50% advance, and our delivery schedule will be such and such. It's a letter customer C ko. Sweet letter, because you don't want to offend them. Invariably, they get a call. They call up the business salesperson and scream with a AK-47. What are the 3 things that can happen? What are the 3 things that can happen? Yep, sure. Nitesh, one moment. What are the 3 things that can happen? The salesperson will say, sir, management decision. Who's the management? Me and my dog. They're the management. Management decision. कुछ नहीं कर सकते sir. मान जाता है वो. Second, he keeps on bombarding. मुझे boss से बात करना है. Boss available ही नहीं है sir. And third, he goes. Now here's a customer who's troublesome customer, and he goes. To whom will he go to? To our competitor. If a troublesome customer goes to the competitor, will he give less trouble or more trouble? He'll probably give the same amount of trouble. So I'm happy that my competitor has to now manage a troublesome customer. And D are dead customers. तो खत्म हो गया. एक जमाने में ठीक था, पर सबका लाइफ साइकिल होता है. हमारा भी लाइफ साइकिल है. 70 साल के बाद मैं भी कहीं ना कहीं चला जाऊंगा. It's gone. Right? So, but are we doing customer classification? Are we doing strategizing based on customer classification? Right? That is our D. B is basic customers. Customers who are pushing us hard, Customers who are giving us trouble, but customers who are also giving us a lot of revenue. They are our B customers, and we need to manage them with kids' gloves. A customers are customers who buys specific products from us, and they may not be the higher revenue contributing, but they're certainly higher profit contributing. B customers, they negotiate very hard. So they may not be the highest contributor to profit, but they are the big customers who contribute significantly to our top line. How many lead generation strategies do we have? Do we know what is our conversion rate? Do we know what our marketing budgets are? Do we know what my MROI, marketing ROIs are? Do we have anything of these there? If you have it, congratulations. If you don't have it, don't you think we should have it? If you want to build a sustainable business, don't you think we should have it? Now let me show you something interesting. The 5 ways. But before that, let me get to a poll, second poll. And I want you to look at this very carefully. My second poll is, sorry. I'm launching a poll which says, do we measure our marketing ROI and lead conversion? Measuring. Do you know how many leads you're getting? And from which lead, what is the conversion rate? 100% times, not right? I'm launching the poll. So let me get some quick results, please. Poll is launched, ladies and gentlemen, 10 seconds. Do we measure our marketing ROIs? Always, fantastic. One person says always. Never, says one person. Okay. Okay. I have got 8 responses here from the 17 who are in this room, 47%, 9. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, please think through and ask yourself, because if you don't do this, I will show you a magic. And this is going to be a magic. Not for that one person who says always, because you are fantastic. And I'm sure you're the same person who said you could go on a holiday. So I really congratulate you. So I'm ending the polling and I am sharing the results of the 11 people who voted. And you can look at this as, this is the same kind of results we get always. 91% of people do not have a fix on their marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, here is something that you're spending a lot of money on. And if you don't have a fix on this, how do you think we will exponentially grow our businesses? So let me tell you something very interesting. When we talk to a business owner, we ask him, do you know how many customers you have? They say, yes, sir. Do you know what's the revenue you make? Or most business owners know their revenue. Do they know how much profit they make? They know the profit that they make. But like the poll suggested, most of us do not know the leads. Which means, ladies and gentlemen, what is happening is the business owners are focusing on results. Customer is a result. Revenue is a result. Margin is a result. Now, if you're focusing on results only, who is focusing on the actions? Who's focusing on the actions? Because all that has been taught to us through our lifetime of, I am 52 years old and somebody could be 30 or somebody could be 60. Every time it has been taught to us that actions is equal to results. But if I'm not focusing on the actions, if I'm focusing only on the RHS, which is the right-hand side of the equal to sign, how will I get different results if I'm not focusing on the actions? Hence, I'm continue to get the same results. And if I'm getting the same results, I keep on crying that my results don't change. The results don't change, ladies and gentlemen, because we're not focusing on the actions. Now, today is a time to focus on the actions. And you will see, like I keep on saying, that marketing is mathematics. Let's put some numbers in. You see the ones in red, they are outcomes, they are results. I am telling you, ladies and gentlemen, from today, if you want to transform your business, stop focusing on the red and start focusing on the blue. What's the number of leads, conversion rate, number of transactions, average dollar sale, profit margins? And let's look at a small example. So the small business, which has 4,000 leads coming up, they get a 25% conversion rate. Their customers are 1,000. The number of transactions is 2. Average dollar sale that they do per transaction. Somebody could be buying 10, somebody could be buying 1,000, but average is 100. Revenue is 200,000. The small business makes a profit of 50,000. Now, if this was your business, for example, if this was your business, and I'm asking you with a 10% increase in number of leads. So today, how many lead generation strategies do you have? Can anybody come into the chat box? How many lead generation strategies would you have? 1, 2. How many lead generation? From where are your leads coming? From where are your leads coming, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. 1, 2. Okay. So I've got a few responses here. It says 2, it says 1, it says 3. Okay. Now, but if you are looking at your lead generation strategies, ideally, we in Action say you should have 10 lead generation strategies. What are the lead generation strategies I have? I am part of BNI, that is one lead generation. I'm part of Rotary, that's second lead generation. I am part of social media, that is third lead generation strategy. I call up customers, that is my fourth lead generation strategy. I have 5 lead generation strategies because I network with other people in the system. So I have 5 lead generation strategies. Now, if you have 1 or if you have 2 lead generation strategies, by a 10% increase in lead generation strategies, and we have in Action, we have 78 lead generation strategies that we use for our business owners. In all, we have 372 strategies. So if you have 72 lead generation strategies, not everything will fit everybody else, but some will fit in your business. By a 10% increase, if you increase the lead generation strategy, increase the number of leads to 4,400. Now, 91% people said that you're not always measuring your conversion rate. Can we start measuring the conversion rate? Can we see where our money is going and how many leads that I've generated from that investment that I have made? Or even if it's not an investment, if it's a free marketing activity that I've done, free also entails a resource called as time. With that time, how much leads have I generated? Like there was this business owner who came to me about 5 months back, I guess. He had 2 lead generation strategies. One where he was putting in 60% of his entire marketing budget, and the second 40%. So I asked him, do you measure? He says, yes, like all of us always say, yes, we measure our lead generation. I said, if you measure lead generation, what is the MROI? He said, measure karke batata hu fir se. I said, fantastic. 2 weeks later, when he came, he was all tomato. The money that he was putting into that 60% marketing had not generated one single lead. And he made the statement to me that I'm ready to sack my entire marketing team because for many years I've been investing in that place and we must have spent lakhs of rupees in that lead generation, but 8 lead nahi aaya wahan se. It doesn't take brains to determine where is he going to put in that money into, because all his leads have come in from that area where he has invested 40%. by just simple measuring of your conversion rate. Simple measuring and not doing anything more and realigning your investments. Or if you can't do, we have about 60 odd strategies to improve conversion rate. By doing that, can we increase by 10%? Which will mean that we now have a customer base of 1,210. Now to those customers, if you have been selling twice in a year, can we increase the number of transactions? And there are three questions that I ask. Ladies and gentlemen, all of you are into sales and marketing, all of you run businesses. Do all my customers know of all the products and services that I have? Do all my salespeople, or are all my salespeople trained in sales? Do all of them know how to sell on the FABV concept, feature, advantages, benefits and values, rather than only on the feature? Sir, ये मेरा brochure है, आपके लिए शायद ये product ठीक है, instead of selling on the V. Do the salespeople have a sales script? Are we monitoring the sales script? Because there's so many places where we have seen that the customers have come and said, "अरे मुझे तो पता ही नहीं था ये बनाते हो और ये आप बेचते हो," because we have not done it. Look at your database, ladies and gentlemen. Of all your past customers, current customers, and prospects, do we write to them once in 90 days? Do we update them once in 90 days? Do we reach out to them once in 90 days? Or are we happy chasing new customers and forgotten about and our old customers? Forget the customer acquisition. There was a real estate guy who came and told me, "Arey sir, मेरे पास तो लोग 5 साल बाद ही घर खरीदते हैं." I said, five years, right? What's the value of your house? So 2 crores. What's the money that you make? About 1,10,000. If you make from one single customer, if you are looking at a return of 1,10,000 rupees in 5 years, and if you're going to reach out to that customer 4 times in a year, which is in those 5 years, 20 times, each time, say 250 rupees, you're spending 10,000 rupees. Is that a very big amount to invest? Sorry, not even 10,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees. 5,000 rupees to get a customer's probable business of 1,10,000. How do you otherwise stay in the customer's mind when there are 10 other real estate guys in the marketplace? As a process, we ensure that when we coach clients, we tell them to write to every customer once in 90 days. Ladies and gentlemen, आपको shock हो जाएंगे कि आपका there are customers whose your databases where the customer's correct email ID is also missing. This is salesperson guy, but the salesperson is gone. We don't update them. By doing all this, I can assure you, you will do 20%, 30%, 40% increase in your number of transactions. But I am saying average, let's increase it by 10%. And by doing all this that we have just spoken about, you can increase the average dollar sale by 10%. You go to a McDonald's, go to a McDonald's. This is guy, lady sitting there or a young guy standing there who says, "Sir, namaskar. I say, I've come for a veg burger. So thank you very much. Can I offer you something more? Can I offer you a cup of coffee? Can I offer you some fries? Can I give you a juice?" Is our salespeople trained to upsell? We tried this experiment with a barber of mine. I told him, I come here, I should come for a haircut every month, but I miss. I come once in 2 months and I need to be groomed. So can you send me a WhatsApp every month, 30th ko, that your haircut is due? He said, yes. So I tried this over the in 2019-20, and I realized that I have gone Instead of 6 times, I've gone nine times. My entire increase has been 50%. And during those 9 times, I've taken facial twice and I've done a pedicure 3 times. But for that, we need to have salespeople trained. So when we increase this dollar sale by 10%, ladies and gentlemen, this is the power of mathematics. This is the power of multiplication. You're not increasing your revenue by 10%, you're increasing your revenue by a whopping 46%. And any CA in this room will tell you, when you're doing this business in an efficient manner, your profit margins has to increase. And if your profit margins don't increase by the way you're doing business, there are 60 odd strategies that we can bring onto the table by which your profit margin, if it increases by 10%, your profits go up by a whopping 61%. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no mumbo jumbo. This is simple power of mathematics and simple focusing on actions. And when you focus on actions, there's a 46% increase in revenue and the 61% increase in profits waiting for you. Now, you may tell me that everywhere your businesses are different, I accept. So everywhere you may not get 10%. Somewhere you may get 1%. Somewhere you may get 20%. But there is a chance that you can increase your revenues and profits by a whopping 40% and 61%. When we go to our clients, we tell them, we give you a guarantee that in 12 months, I will increase your profits by at least 30%. And you see that this is possible. So what do you need to do? By focusing on 10% increase in lead generation strategies, conversion, number of transactions, rupee sale, margins, there is money to be made, ladies and gentlemen, of 46% increase in revenue and 61% increase in profit. Now you have money. Now you have money at your disposal. All that worry of cash nahi hai, profits nahi hai, cash nahi hai, liabilities going up, working capital increases, it's all out of the window. And I'm not saying this is going to happen in 6 months. I'm not saying we have a magic wand. All that I'm saying is this is possible, and this is what we call the 5 ways of growing a business. Once you have that, only then we talk to people about systemizing the business. But systemizing the business. And this is what we call leveraging. And for us, leverage means system. System means saving yourself stress, time, energy, and money. This is our definition for system. A lot of business owners are stuck at investing in a system even before they have predictable cash flows. What you do, and this I will rush through because these are the final steps of how to do a business, of systemizing your business. So we have 9 steps of systemizing your business. You have already done your vision and mission in step 1 in destination, but now your business is on a different level. So you need to revisit the vision and mission statements. That what do I stand for? Why do I exist in business? What am I going to do? What are my culture statements? What are the rules of the game that I'm going to set my game with? So when new people come in, they know what they're getting into. Because culture is from the family, the business owner's family. But it cannot be only from the family. So we said, if you have 10 culture statements, 4 comes from you, business owner, 4 comes from your employees, and 2 comes from your suppliers or distributors or whoever. If you want to know more about culture statements, go into our actioncoach.com site. We have 10 culture statements. Though we are not employees, we live by those culture statements. That is extremely important, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the biggest misfit that you have is not on competencies, but because of attitudes and cultural misfits. Once you have that, then you can set goals for your department. What are specific, measurable, achievable, result-oriented, time-bound goals? Which, as a business coach, and I do it, I say, let's move this SMART slightly differently. Specific, measurable, aspirational, result-oriented, time-bound goals. What is your organization structure? So when we talk in terms of not a current organization structure, what will your organization structure look like, say, 3 years hence? Remember that 5-year document that you made. How will the business organization structure look like 5 years from now? I should have the visibility of that organization structure. I may put my name in multiple places today. I may put my key employee's name in multiple places, but I need to know who gets filled in when. Because we need to plan on hiring and we need to get the right people in the bus. Then for each position, do we have a positional contract? Do people know why they're coming to the workplace? What are their outcomes? What are the results that they're going to be measured upon? Or are they going to come and wait for you watching YouTube till you come and give them work? And I've seen this happening in a very close friends organization. The people watching YouTube, people playing PUBG. PUBG अभी बंद हो गया, but PUBG क्यों कर रहे हैं? Boss आएंगे तो काम देगा तो काम होगा. So you actually are asking people to come to work and get paid. Then what are the key performance indicators? Every individual that you hire should be paid on outcomes. So what is the outcome that is going to bring into the system? After that, you bring in the systems, the SOPs, all those SOP systems that you bring in. And finally, you get that MIS in place. So today, every Friday evening, you should get an MIS about the performance of the business. Today, one of my business owners gets an MIS every single day because we are still in the transformation phase. Every single day, so either through a CRM package or a WhatsApp or an email, whatever, there has to be data that has to come to you. But this can be done only when your business is in place, and then you strive for the team, because now you're looking at the without you, the business which works without you. Tom Peters, a fantastic motivational coach and a business coach, has said that most employees are motivated, energetic, committed, enthusiastic, and loyal, except for the 8 hours they work for you. This is a global phenomenon. And if you want your business to be successful, this except word has to go away. And as a business coach, what we do is we help you get the right people in the bus, because we as a coach will help you build your team, motivate your team, challenge your team. Because when the team is happy, the team will take care of the customers. And when the customers are happy, the customers will take care of the business. Today, as a business owner, you're taking care of the team, the customers, and the business, and none of them are fully happy. So your job is only to look at the team, because you have built that structure, you have built the cash flow, you have built the system, you have done the KPIs, you have done the KRAs, you have done the organization structure, you have done the positional contract. Now people know where they have to go. Chetak Horse of Rana Pratap. And your job as a business owner is to only and only manage the team at every possible time. And as a coach, we help you do that, because once that is done, your team is in place, your team is taking care of your customer is taking care of your business, the business is taking care of you, you get growth and freedom. You get freedom as a business owner. You have moved through the owner stage, and from the owner stage, now you will move to the entrepreneur investor stage, and then to the entrepreneur stage. Today, you lack freedom. Today, I want every one of you to pledge that in a year's time, you can take a 1-month holiday and not be on your phones and your computers, and still come back and find a rock star business. Richard Branson has said, if you learn to run one business successfully, there's no reason you can't run any number of business at the same time. The principles are the same, but please don't start multiple businesses even before you have learned the principles of one business. That is a mistake that business owners do, and they get stuck. You have to first learn. The critical function is you learn to run one business successfully. Then you can multiply. Jim Rohn has said, and quoting him, again a great motivational speaker and again a coach, says, never wish your life was easy. You were better. Life is never going to be easy, ladies and gentlemen. Newer competitors will come in, newer crises will come in, newer products will come in, newer challenges will come in. So life is not going to be easy, but you need to work on yourself so that you become better. And that is something that we always forget. We think about controlling everything around us except ourselves. April, when I was making the first webinar, conducting the first webinar, I made a statement that your success will depend upon the way you utilize your time for the next 90 days. At that point in time, we had thought 90 days, but it's extended to 120 days. You had a choice, ladies and gentlemen, of sitting in front of the TV, watching Hotstar, Netflix with a cup of coffee, or you had an option of planning, replanning your life, replanning your business, looking at your business from zero level budgeting. That would I run my business the same way if I were to restart the business? And today, if you do your time inventory, you will realize where your time is going. This is the time to get into action, ladies and gentlemen. And as we come to the close, there are hundreds of actionable points that I've given you, which you can use and use in your business. Our job as action coaches is to build knowledge. Is to build knowledge. That knowledge that will help you create a business, which will create abundance in yourself, because you're not only responsible for yourself, you're responsible for your employees, you're responsible for your employees' families, and in turn, you're responsible for contributing to the GDP of the country and the world. That is our responsibility to society. So you have actionable points, you can take them and run. But like I had promised, there is a surprise that I'm going to give you today. And the first surprise is, for all business owners who are interested, I am going to offer you a 1-hour complimentary business consultation for everybody, whoever is interested. No commitments, no tags, no riders. You want to get into a one-to-one conversation? Happy doing that. The second is launching a group coaching program at a 40% reduction in pricing. People who are unable to get into full-time business coaching. So the program is for 6 months, 3-hour sessions twice a month. Maximum group size will be 10. So it's not a room full of people of 50, 60 people, so that we get into individual businesses. And once a month, individual 60-minute coaching, and price at 12,000 plus GST per month. Anybody who's interested. This is what we typically do at 20,000. We're bringing it down to 10,000 only for the month of September, registrations in the month of September. And the third, which is the biggest gift from me to only 5 business owners who registered the first, is 6 hours over 4 weeks, free coaching, complimentary coaching, no riders. Exactly what I would do with my business coaching, 1.5 hours per session every week. Exactly the same model, but instead of a full-fledged program, this will be initiating you into helping you redesign your business. So this will be free for 1 month. But this is only for the first 5 registrations. What do you need to do? There's a link which is there. There's a Google form. I need some information about your businesses. So for everybody who either wants to avail A, B, or C, this is the Google form link. You have to give me some information so that I can make the sessions productive for you. At 1 p.m. today, you will receive an email from info@beyondredocean.com. Please fill up the Google form and submit, and let us know which option you want to avail for. Someone from our team will connect with you in the next 24 hours for the next steps. This is all that you need to do, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to avail of any of these three, if you don't want to avail of any of these three, you're welcome to look at this video recording, which will be uploaded, and run. And I wish you luck. And I really wish you luck with your businesses, because I want your businesses to be successful. As a closing comment, ladies and gentlemen, the dreams that you have built in your destination mastery, don't let them go. Hold on to them. Dreams do come true, and dreams have come true for me. But for that, that mindset shift needs to happen. We need to start thinking like an entrepreneur. We have to plan for the future. This life is all about living backwards and planning forwards. If you're unhappy with the results that you've got from life, look at what is the seed and what is the mania. Change them. We are not trees. If you continue to do the same things, you will keep getting the same results. So if you're unhappy with the results, do things differently. Focus on yourself. Something is wrong with us. Hold on to the dreams that you have, because the dreams will come true, ladies and gentlemen. Because we have so much passion in our businesses that nothing in this world can stop us. The only thing I want you to make a significant shift today in your mindset is from I want to I will. I want are all those fancy dreams which has no conclusion. I will is extremely powerful statement. I will become a successful business owner. I'll become a 25 crore business owner. I'll become a 100 crore business owner. Ladies and gentlemen, they will come true. But for that, our mindset shift has to happen. With that, I come to a close of this with a final comment that people get held back in small things in life because you're not dreaming big enough. Dream big enough and you will achieve the big dreams. Thank you so much for your time. I will stop the share of this, and I'm happy for any question answers that you may have. And I'm opening up the chat box, and I'm opening up the unmute. So you can unmute yourself and speak. Any questions that I can address? Anything? Either on the chat box or on your unmuting. Allow participants. Okay, I have allowed. Any questions, please? Or should we call it a day? No questions? Okay, so there is a question. So there is a question that, does this work for service industry? Certainly service industry. So today I have a client who is in architect business. So she's an architect. And we're transforming the way she does her business. So she has 3 individual verticals: design and build, or design and execute, and only execute. So we are looking at how do you spread the business around, from where we get the highest amount of profitability, from where the lead generations come in. So service industry, manufacturing industry, it works the best because you have so many parameters to work through that you can look at your cash flows, you can look at your cash gaps, you can look at your accounts receivable, you can look at your inventory holding, you can look at your lead generation, you can look at your conversion, you can look at multiple areas. Yes, so it does work. Yeah, okay. So there is another question which says, yes. So we have on lead generation, on conversion, on increasing the number of, on increasing the transactions, on increasing the rupee sale and the profit margins, we have about 370 odd strategies as action. So we bring all those 370 strategies onto the table, and see what fits your business. Not all of those 370 strategies will work for your business. We need to look at what works for your business. And that's where we try and implement them. So we implement them on a joint basis. Yeah, it is, you have to select what will work for your business. I'm like your accountability coach. So you go to a gym, you're having 10 push-ups. So your accountability coach is, your trainer is standing behind you. You will do 2 more. So we are your accountability coaches. We'll ensure that the results that we have planned for are achieved. Okay. No, our work is absolutely with business owners. Absolutely with the business owners. The business owners can bring in their leadership team when we are talking finance or sales or whatever, but our transformation is with the business owner. Yes. So unless the business owner is there, we don't do the coaching process. Okay. So typically what we do in our coaching process is we sign up, it has to be a long drawn process, about a year, because transformation takes time. So the first thing that we do is something that we call alignment consultation, where the business owners, and if there are multiple business owners, there could be a challenge where each business owner's personal and professional goals have to be aligned. So something that we do is called alignment consultation. We bring everyone onto the same page. From that, we determine 10 things that need to be done in the next 12 months, 10, 12, 8, 10, 12, not too many because you have a business to run. So suppose it's 12 things that need to be done. So those 12 things, depending on the way we prioritize our work, based on the 80-20 principle, the prioritization, we say, okay, every quarter we would want to address this. So what are the things that we need to achieve in the first quarter? So we say 3 things that need to be achieved in the first quarter. From that 3 things, we create a 90-day plan, weekly plan, which is shared with the business owner, that these are the things that we will do. Every week, we during our session, so it's typically 1 to 1.5 hour session, depending on the type of program that has been signed up with. Every week, we look at what are the things that we need to achieve for that 90-day plan. So it's a weekly interaction, weekly engagement to achieve what needs to be done. So in the 90-day, post 90-day, we do a review of the first 90 days and then look at the next 90 days. Do we follow the same 90-day plan that we had earlier decided, or we need to refine it? So it's a weekly engagement for 48 weeks, depending on between 1 to 1.5 hours. And how do you bring in results? Yes, so it's with the business owner on a weekly basis, on about between 1 to 1.5 hours. Yep. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Hitesh. Thank you, Kaushik, and thank you, everyone who is in the room. Since there are no questions, I will log off from here. And people who still want to be in the room and ask questions, I'm here for a while. Thank you so much, Hitesh. Thank you for participating. In the next 10 minutes, you would have an email sent out to you. And based on whatever your preferences, you can decide where you would want to bring in the interventions. Thank you so much, everyone. Any other questions? I am available here and we can continue talking. For people, for the rest, we say goodbye and God bless. Thank you, Love. Thank you, Kapil, for being here. Okay, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. And I'll catch up with you soon.